YouTube, what's up? It's Chris with Northeast Tennessee Fishing. We're in the shop today, not on the water today. Weather, it's not really playing out to our favor at this point. I could go out there and drag for a little while and probably see if I could catch a fish, but I wanted to take the opportunity. I know several of you have reached out on different media platforms to ask me what I'm using, and I figured why not take the opportunity now before I start really picking it up and the business starts really going for fishing. Take the opportunity to break it down and actually show you what I'm using. Nothing special. I want a little small disclaimer ahead of time. I'm not sponsored by anybody. These are items that I buy out of my own pocket. Nobody provides anything for me. I don't get any discounts. These are items that I have found work for me. Obviously, whatever works for you works for you. I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy any of these things. I'm not even telling you that you have to. You can find any of this stuff anywhere that you happen to shop for fishing equipment. These are just things that I have found that work the best for me in the scenarios that I fish. And this is what I use most of the time. I do have some small changes here and there. You might see them in videos. I may not even show them in videos. They're, like I said, it's the stuff that I've bought, stuff that I've found works for me. Obviously, you don't have to go out and buy this stuff. You can use what you have. I've done it for years. And what I could afford, what I could find, what was available at the time when I was searching for it. So, small disclaimer, get that out of the way. We're going to start off with, I guess, one of the main pieces of equipment that you got to have, and that's a rod. This is a ugly stick, obviously. It's a catfish rod. Carry them at Walmart, among other places, but it's just an ugly stick. 7 foot, medium heavy. I like to think that it's more of a medium to me. It does have a lot of flex to it. It's ugly stick. It does have a lot of backbone. It has landed, and I have several of these, it has landed 40, 50 pound fish. My personal best is 49 currently. I plan on breaking that this year, hopefully. But like I said, 7 foot catfish rod. I find them at Walmart. Of course, they went through a time there where everybody was buying up everything they could find, and I had a hard time finding them, but last time I checked, they had plenty of them in stock. Just depends on where you live and where you're located and if they have them in your stores. I guess the next part we're going to go over is the next piece of equipment that you got to have if you're going to do any kind of fishing, and that's my reel. Like I said, these are things I find that work for me. I found this on a happenstance. I was curious and started researching a little bit and found these several years ago. These are the Zebco Big Cat XT350s. Currently, and I say currently, the only place I have found them is eBay. Works really well, has plenty of drag, is strong enough for all the fish that I've caught. I've not found one yet that it can't handle. Smooth drag, cast smooth. Depends on your preference. I mean, I'm not telling you that you have to go and buy the Big Cat XT350s. They do work really well. There's several other options on the market, several other cheaper options, obviously. These aren't very expensive. You can generally get them for about $40 a reel, which is not bad. It just depends on what the price is going on eBay. Like I said, my original 2 reels that I purchased when I first started catfishing, heavily catfishing, I actually bought them from Zebco. I actually had them ordered and shipped from Zebco. Now you can't find them, or at least they don't have them in stock. They do show them on their website if you're curious about it. I'm gonna put all the links to all the items that I have, all the links that I've used. I'm gonna put in the description. If I can remember to put them all in there, I'll have all of them in there. But I'm gonna give you just where you can find the information. Now, as far as purchasing it, I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'm gonna let you research, do the search, find them, but I'm gonna give you the websites where I have originally purchased these items. I guess the next thing you gotta have is line. So this is, like I said, personal choice. This is what I found. I have used many different brands of fishing line. This is what I've come to in the last, I guess, the last 6 months. The brand doesn't matter, as long as you get a strong enough line that can handle it, and as long as your gear is rated for it. I'm running currently slime line, the 30 pound. You can get that off of catchwhateverbites.com. That's where I ordered it. I get a big spool of it because I have several rods. If y'all watch my videos, you know I run anywhere from 4 to 6 rods at a time. You gotta have a lot of line, and I like to change mine out about every couple years, just so that I know for a fact that my line's good and not dry rotted or otherwise. Everything sits in my shop year round. If it's not sitting on the boat ready to go whenever I'm ready to go fishing, it just makes it easier for me to just hook to the boat and take off and go catch fish, make videos for y'all to watch. It's easier that way. So I do like to change my line out every couple of years. I do use a backer. You use whatever backer you want to. And when I say backer, it's just something that's on the reel to take up space. I don't need a whole lot of this line on there to make my cast or to get where I want to as far as the cast are concerned. So I don't need to use a whole lot of it to get my cast out. I like to use a little bit of a backer on the reel so that I don't use a whole lot of this. Makes this last a lot longer, and it's cost effective. Use cheap stuff, believe me. This isn't very cheap. Currently, I think I looked on the website here a few minutes ago. This spool right here will run you $50, and that's it shows it's got 1,750 yards on the spool, so it'll last you a while. But when I come to talking about, I've got several reels. Obviously, I've got 6 on the boat at any given time, and I keep additional ones back for just in case. Let's keep on going. I'm sitting here rambling on about stuff I don't need to ramble on about. All right, we got the line, we got the reel, we got the rod. Now let's talk about some of the connections. I run, y'all have seen my videos. You notice I run a Santee Cooper rig, which it includes a float, a weight, a swivel, a hook, and a bead, or beads, whichever one you want to prefer. I run size 1s on my swivels, just a barrel swivel, nothing fancy. You can find them at Walmart if they have them in stock. You can order them from Walmart. If they don't have them in stock, they'll ship them to you. Made by Eagle Claw. Never had a problem out of them. Always been strong enough. Obviously they're metal, my line's not. They're strong enough to handle any of the fish that I end up catching or hooking into. Anywhere from the small guys to any of the 40 pounders, never had an issue. I guess, let's see, beads are generic. Beads you can find anywhere. These are some orange ones that I've picked up at a local sporting goods store. They had them pretty cheap, couldn't pass them up. I got a bunch of them because I use them. If you ever break rigs off, you'll learn how quick you can go through stuff, especially when it comes to the small stuff, you know. Hooks. I'm a Gamakatsu freak. I love Gamakatsus. I'm gonna get that closer so you can maybe see that. Gamakatsu. These are 8/0. I do run anywhere. This is just a brand new pack I had here so I could show you the packaging. I run anywhere from 6/0 all the way up to a 12/0. I've got different size baits that I use depending on what I catch. What I end up catching for bait determines my hook size. Obviously I want plenty of space there for a hook set. 8/0 work really well. I've ran 8/0 for a long time. I still have them. Currently I'm running 10/0 and 12/0 on the boat because I've been running bigger baits. Last year I was running larger baits, so I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of hook exposure when it comes to a fish hookup. I don't want them grabbing hold of the bait and not getting the hook, for obvious reasons. We want to catch fish. We don't want to just, we want to go fishing to catch fish. We don't want to just go fishing to soak baits. I like catching fish. Let's see. We'll go with the old peg float next. Peg float, peg float. If you know what a Santee Cooper rig is, you'll know a peg float's required. These are, let's see if I can get my information wrote down here. These are 3-inch peg floats. Old 3-inch peg float. The reason I run a 3-inch peg float, based on the weight of my bait, so to speak, or how big my bait is, I want to make sure it can float. I don't want my hook dragging the bottom of the lake. I know people have talked about, you know, the lake I stay at, Cherokee Lake. It's not the greatest lake in the world to drag. There are some underwater obstacles. You will snag. One of my videos, I can't remember which one it was, previous video that I made. I started off the morning, I did my intro, and as soon as I got done with my intro, I ended up having to break off an entire rig. I snagged the bottom on something that I shouldn't have been around. I should have known better than to be there, but it comes with the territory. If you're dragging the bottom, you're gonna break stuff. You're gonna hook up on rocks, on sticks, on trees and limbs. There's all kinds of underwater obstacles that there are to deal with that you may not pick up on your sonar, on your depth finder, that you may not see. And obviously it depends on what kind of depth finder you have. If you're looking just a 2D sonar, looking straight down, there's a lot of stuff you're not going to see, and a lot of stuff you might mistake for fish or bait fish or back to it. Peg float, 3-inch, holds any baits that I've got that I've used so far, all the way up to the biggest baits that I decide to use. They work. I get those on Amazon. And like I said, you may find them at a local place closer to you. Any sporting goods store has peg floats of any kind. When it gets to the 3-inchers, you probably need to try to look through either eBay or Amazon or internet to find the best deal. Like I said, by no means am I endorsed, or I'm not giving any kind of sponsorship or anything like that. This is all out of my pocket. I bought all this stuff, and this is just a sampling of what I have. It's what I use. It works for me. It may not work for you. You've seen me dragging baits across the water. You know that I go slow, and these are the items that I use. Last but not least, my dragging weights. These guys right here are the ticket. These are the ticket to making my Santee Cooper rigs work for me in the body of water that I fish in. They're just a slinky weight. I don't know what else you call them. They're real flexible. They bend, they give, they drag, they skip across stuff. I mean, you can see if there was a stick under the water, it's just going to glide across it. It's not going to hook onto it. And based on where my weight is hooked onto my swivel, and based on where it is on the line and how fast I'm going, this guy will generally stay like this as he's floating down through the water. And as he's dragging across the bottom, it's generally like that. This will be up. This will be just dragging across the bottom. I find these through another fishing channel that I watch on a regular basis. But you can find these on bonetowncatfishing.com. They do sell several different variations. My variation that I use or that I've purchased are 2 ounce, and these are green. They have different colors. They have blue, they have red, they have green, they have in different sizes. They start down at 1 ounce, and I think they go all the way up, or they used to go all the way up to 3 ounces. As of last time I checked their website, it looked like they had 1 ounce, 1.5, and 2 ounces, and I could be mistaken, but I may have seen 2.5 ounces as far as the dragon weight's concerned. And these are, like I said, they're not cheap. They're not expensive, but they're not cheap, especially when it comes to wanting to make sure you keep your weight, because that's an expensive part of the whole rig, is the dragon weight. Obviously, the peg floats, the hooks, the swivels, the beads, they're all part of it. It all does cost money to get you started. Once you get started though, if you get into a good area that maybe you don't have a lot of underwater structure or a whole lot of underwater sticks, trees, limbs, rocks, stuff like that to snag up on, these things will last you a while. I've only lost one to speak of. I've only lost one weight. Of course, it hurt. It hurt my feelings a lot, but it's part of it. So that's it. I mean, that's what I've got. Let's see, the circle hooks. Let me make sure I go across everything I went across. The circle hooks, I picked them up on Amazon. Can't beat the price, the availability. It's easier to find them. I don't have to go driving across town for looking at different stores, because a lot of stores don't carry bigger than an 8/0 in stock. Some of these 8/0s I picked up at Academy Sports. Anything bigger than that, I've not. My 10/0s and my 12/0s, I find those on Amazon. Good price for what they are. As far as availability, shipped to your house. Don't have to go out here trying to find them and spend a lot of money trying to find them in gas. Gas prices going up, so that's a big deal right there. Like I said, these beads, the beads are just, they're generic beads. You can find them. You can find them at Walmart. You can find them at any sporting goods store, really. If they've got them, they've got them. Just find them at a good price for you, whatever your price point is, and stick with them. Like I said, the eagle claws, the old barrel swivels here, Walmart. That's where I picked these up. Let's see, peg floats, got a whole bag of them. Buy in bulk. Buy in bulk. It's the easiest way to get the cost down a little bit per float. If you can only find them in a 3-pack, buy them in a 3-pack. I got those in a, let me see what I got here. Got those in a, I believe it was a 50 pack. Got those in a 50 pack, 3-inch. Didn't cost a whole lot when you break it down for the bulk discount as far as buying them. Bought them on Amazon. The old slinky weights. BonetownCatfishing.com. Had them shipped to the house. Order them straight from their website. You're not going to find them anywhere else but Bonetown Catfishing. There are other slinky weights out and about. Give me a second here to get something. There are other slinky weights on the market. These work for me. These are what I found that worked for me. Because, I mean, they don't snag up on stuff just on their own. I mean, you definitely have to try to get them stuck. And I don't like getting those stuck. The old fishing line, slime line, you can get any brand that you want. This is just what I have found in a big bulk spool compared to what I was spending on individual spools that would maybe get two reels. That'll get all 6 of my reels at a time without having to buy more spools. I've got a lot of different brands that I use. I have a lot of brands that I have used. No issue with any of them. Brand specific is up to you if you choose to do that. I'm not. I'm up for the best deal there is in fishing. As far as how much it's going to cost me, because it does cost a little bit of money to get you started and get you going. Don't forget the Big Cat Zebco XT 350. Only place I have found it, eBay. Only place that I found it. I can't find them. I've not found them anywhere else. Every once in a while, I've seen them on Amazon. The price is a little up there, but if you can find them at a good price, eBay's the way to go, in my opinion. And let's not forget the most important part. We got to have the rod. The old ugly stick rods. Never let me down. 7-foot catfish. Handles everything I've caught. You've seen any of my videos, you know that that's what's on the boat. I love ugly stick rods. They've never let me down. I've got several ugly stick rods, several different variations of, I've got several catfish rods up here above my head. This is where everything's stored at in my shop. I've got different rods, different reels. but this is what I stick with. This is my go-to. This is the stuff that I personally trust. Every piece of equipment I've shown you, this is what I use. If you use something different, I understand. We all use stuff different. Well, it's whatever you feel comfortable using. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff. I've paid every bit of the money that's for these things. That this is just the stuff that I found that works for me in my scenario, my situation. But with that, I guess we'll wrap it up. I don't have really anything else to talk about. I guess I did skip over what I use for leader material. I use 50-pound monofilament. I'm not brand specific. 50-pound monofilament is 50-pound monofilament. I don't care where you go, where you buy it, what brand you use, whatever you choose, whatever's cost effective for you. 50-pound monofilament, whatever brand it is, works. It keeps everything strong enough on the fish end so that, you know, you don't end up, I mean, we're down there dragging across rocks, sticks, stumps, whatever may be under the water. So you want something strong enough to be able to handle the abrasiveness of what's under there, rocks, whatever it may be, and the fish. So I run 30-pound mono as my main line. I've shown you that slime line. 30-pound mono is no matter what brand it is, 30-pound mono works. Works on the reels really well. 50-pound mono for the leader material that I use to run from my swivel all the way to my hook. And that gets the beads, that gets the hooks, that gets the old peg floats on it. And it works. We'll talk about, if you're unfamiliar with what a Santee Cooper rig is, there's a lot of videos out there. Just look up Santee Cooper rig on YouTube, and believe me, there's plenty of videos. I'm not going to do you any justice by trying to show you how I time. How you time is how you time. How I time is how I time. They work, especially when it comes to waters that have a lot of underwater structures, a lot of underwater sticks and stuff like that. It keeps your hook up off the bottom, keeps your bait up in the strike zone as far as for catfish are concerned, not on the bottom of the lake or waterway that you're fishing. Floats them up, keeps the hook from getting stuck on a lot of stuff, majority of stuff. And then, like I said, you can YouTube that away. I'm not going to do you any good by trying to show you how I tie these particular rigs. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. They're all on YouTube. That's where I've learned to tie all my rigs. With that, that's all I got, guys, for today. Hopefully the weather clears up here a little bit. Hopefully the gas price doesn't keep climbing, and hopefully we'll be on the water soon. Like I said, I've been a couple of times. If you've not seen a video, this is the first video for 2022. Welcome to 2022. Hopefully the gas price will stop. Hopefully we'll be able to get on the water a lot more this year. And looking forward to maybe adding something to the channel. I do crappie fish every once in a while. It's however you pronounce it, crappie, crappie, your choice, my choice, tomato, tomato. I do crappie fish. I do a lot of trolling for crappie. You may have seen me on the waterways if you're local. I do have setups for trolling. I do troll crankbaits. I do troll curly tail grubs. I do troll. I do every once in a while. I go and actually find a spot that may have fish on it, and I'll actually start casting to them. But I do crappie fish. We're gonna see if we can add a little bit to the channel this year, and just throw some different stuff out there to say, hey, I'm not just about catfishing. I like all fishing. I like bass fishing. I like crappie fishing. I like catfishing. I don't necessarily target walleye or any other species to speak of. I do catch them. They are a surprise when I do, but that's it, guys. That's the equipment. Any other questions, or if there's anything I haven't covered, comes to planer boards, you choose whatever's the most beneficial to you as far as financially wise, whatever your cost is. Those that I found that you've seen on my channel that I've used, I've talked about them. Planer boards, all their whole deal is, all they do is spread your baits apart. It gets your baits away from each other. They let you cover more water without making many more trips. It keeps your baits apart from each other. It also keeps you from snagging up and wrapping into other lines. So if I'm running 6 rods, those 2 outer rods will have planer boards on them. It'll keep those baits away from the boat. People talk about the boat spooking fish. That does happen, I guess. I don't know. I've never talked to a fish to find out. But it does seem that sometimes in skinnier water and more shallow water, I should say, and I'm talking 20 foot, it does seem that the planer boards seem to get more action as far as the rods that have those on them, because they're that much further away from the boat. Those are, I mean, I'm not a brand specific person, and you find the planer boards that work for you. But that, guys, that's all I got. Like I said, if there's something you've seen on the channel that you want some more clarification on, or maybe you want some advice on, or just give me a shout out. You can either hit me up on YouTube in the comments section, or you can hit me up on Facebook. I do have a Facebook page for the channel. With that, guys, we'll wrap it up. I know I've talked for a while now about just equipment, and that's probably boring. I know it is to me. But if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, give me a like on it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And hey, we'll look forward to seeing y'all on the water. But for now, this is Chris with Northeast Tennessee Fishing, where we catch whatever bites.